national anthem. Please be seated. Before we begin, I just want to acknowledge the presence of one of our Women in Leadership mentees, Kaylee Townsend, is with us today. She's Councillor Bossard's mentee. Thank you, Kaylee, for being here with us today, and hopefully it will be informative and useful for you. So with item 1.0 is additions to the agenda. Are there any additions? Seeing none, take a motion to adopt the agenda. Councillor Frederickson, all in favor? That is carried. Item 3.0, corrections or amendments to the March 15th regular meeting of council minutes. Any corrections or amendments? Seeing none, take a motion to adopt the March 15th, 2017 regular meeting of council minutes. Councillor Wheeler, all in favor? Great, that is carried. Item 5.0 is proclamations. We have a proclamation for Earth Day, which is April 22nd. However, this is the next previous council meeting to Earth Day, and so we will proceed with the proclamation today. So in respect of Earth Day, whereas the global community now faces extraordinary challenges such as environmental degradation, climate change, food and water shortages, and global health issues, and whereas all people, regardless of race, gender, income, or geography, have a basic right to a healthy, sustainable environment, and whereas individual citizens have an essential role in creating positive environmental change, and whereas a sustainable environment can be achieved on an individual level through educational efforts, public policy, and consumer participation, and whereas our communities benefit when we develop a deeper understanding and awareness of environmental issues. Therefore, I, Mayor Glenn McLean, do hereby proclaim April 22nd, 2017 as Earth Day in the town of Drayton Valley. Moving on to our delegations, item 6.0 is 6.1 is 2017 Drayton Valley Triathlon. Leah Bathgate, our fitness center manager, is here to make a presentation. Welcome.
Thank you. All right, I'm here to talk about the 2017 Drayton Valley Triathlon. In the past, we've had some pretty good numbers. We've actually been over 300 participants in the beginning couple of years, and then the downturn hit and we dropped significantly. 2015 saw 160 participants overall, but last year we brought that number back up to 221. So we're hoping to bring that number back up again and see another counselor team in there.
That will surely be a draw.
This year we have, actually I want to talk a little bit about the distance that the participants have traveled. Approximately half of the participants are from out of town and traveled an average distance about 180 kilometers. So there is an opportunity This year we also created a website dedicated to the triathlon. Historically, it's just been kind of hidden, probably 5 clicks through the town's website, so we wanted something that was a little bit more easy to access for the public and people, especially those out-of-town people who don't know where to find it on the town's website. So we've created and also a new logo to kind of go with the town's new branding as well. If we can scroll down a little bit on this page, I'll just kind of walk you through here. This is the 6th annual triathlon this year. And we've got some good pictures from last year. So if you click on the register link there, it'll take you to the registration page. And we've got the volunteer page as well. This also gives us an opportunity to showcase our sponsors. We've had a lot of very dedicated sponsors throughout the years who continue to support year after year. So this is just another avenue to give them a little bit more publicity as well.
Sorry, now can I ask you, how many volunteers are required to make this event successful?
Somewhere between 70 and 80. On here, one of the difficulties last year was people didn't have the map ahead of time. It wasn't, they couldn't, like I said, they couldn't find it on the town's website. It was up on there, but they were struggling to find that. So we do have 2 different course maps here. Last year we added a section called Draft Legal, which is for the youth racers who are a little bit more serious about the sport, and they have to have a certification through the Alberta Triathlon Association to be in this draft legal category. So actually, if you scroll down a little bit more on this page, you'll see the draft legal map as well. So they have their own little competition, and like I said, these are the high-level racers in the province that come out. And because we are the first sanctioned race of the Alberta Triathlon season, we do get a lot of people from out of town, and that's where we get the majority of our numbers from as well. So I think that is about it. Did anyone have any questions?
Is there going to be a corporate challenge this year?
It's called the Team Sprint event. We've gone away from naming it the corporate challenge. I'm not sure exactly why they went away.
Makes it sound like we might have to move faster. Any questions, Councillor Frederickson?
So last year you guys moved the transition zone to the front of the pool, which I found that it opened up the back part, but there just wasn't a lot of activity for some of the kiosks or whatever that were located in the back. Are you guys considering moving back to a Rotary Park transition zone as opposed to the front?
It's on the 51st Avenue. I think it was the year before that it was in front of the pool, so we do have it beside the ECDC there.
It did work well. It didn't help me mount my bicycle any more gracefully, but nor did it make me finish quicker. But as you may have heard, Town Council has a committed core of athletes who are intent on domination of the triathlon once again, and
First place last year, didn't you?
not last year. 2 years ago, we won the corporate challenge.
This was the naming of the event.
Yeah, really, that was it. We didn't know which one we were supposed to win. So, yeah. Councillor Frederickson, did you have a question or comment? Okay, she's overwhelmed. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Oh, Councillor Frederickson does have a question.
I know this website was put up just recently. Are you guys tracking stats or anything on that on the website just to see what kind of activity we're getting?
Yeah, we can get site visits and unique page views and all of that kind of thing. So that's also helpful in seeing where people are going to the website from and that type of thing.
You don't happen to know anything off the top of your head, do you?
It takes usually about 6 months for them to actually accurately track all that kind of stuff. So it's next year I'll have some pretty clear stats.
So before I let you go, I want to publicly encourage challenges from anyone and anywhere to the town council team in this year's triathlon. And the reason I'm issuing a challenge is not because I'm supremely confident of victory. I'm modestly, at best, confident. Yeah, extremely quietly confident. But the idea behind council's participation in events such as the triathlon and other events of an athletic or semi-athletic nature is to encourage accessibility of the event from within our population. We want people to know that they can participate in these things. You don't have to be an elite athlete to participate. Heaven knows you don't. Let's have some fun. Let's issue some challenges. They could be serious. They could be not so serious. I like the latter. A little more than the former. And let's have a good time. And you promise good weather, right? All right. Well, thanks so much. Appreciate it. All right. Moving on to item 7.2, it's the decision item. 7.1 is Councillor Dirksen.
So, in relation to the triathlon insurance, on Saturday, May 13th, 2017, the town of Drayton Valley and community volunteers will host the 6th annual Drayton Valley Triathlon. Annually, the Drayton Valley Triathlon brings in approximately 200 participants, which enhances tourism and our local economy. This event is for people of all ages and encourages individuals or teams to participate, and by participating supports the importance of physical and mental health for everyone. The town's insurer has indicated that activities or events endorsed by resolution of council will be recognized as an insured event, thereby minimizing the need for special event insurance. Administration is therefore recommending that the 6th annual Drayton Valley Triathlon is endorsed by the town council as an insured event of the municipality. So of the two options I have in front of me, I would like to endorse the 6th annual Drayton Valley Triathlon event and recognize it as an insured event for the municipality.
So the motion is that council endorse. Thank you very much. Any discussion on this motion? Councillor Bossert.
As you mentioned, Mr. Mayor, it's always very good to see events in the community that bring people out regardless of their physical athletic abilities, and this is a great opportunity to just get into the spirit of sportsmanship in the community and enjoy the spring weather that I'm sure will be present on that day.
Right. Sometimes they do come out because of their, or in spite of their athletic abilities, and sometimes it's because of them. No, I'm pretty sure I know which one we are. All right. Any further discussion? All right. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Councillor Frederickson, item 7.2.
Item 7.2, Federation of Canadian Municipalities Memorandum of Understanding, RE Partnership for Municipal Innovation. Since the town of Drayton Valley became involved with the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, FCM, Municipal Partnership Program nearly 2 decades ago, the town has seen 3 successful relationships develop with the municipalities of Redcliffe, Zimbabwe, Lushoto, Tanzania, and Matagalpa, Nicaragua. The town of Drayton Valley has again been selected by FCM to partner with a community which would benefit the town's involvement in FCM's Partnership for Municipal Innovation Program. The FCM program will cover participant travel costs, accommodation, insurance, and meal expenses through funding from Global Affairs Canada and as per Treasury Board of Canada guidelines. The partnership with FCM is for a 4-year period, and the town of Drayton Valley will be partnering with the municipality of Nicaragua, with a municipality in Nicaragua. Before us today is the draft Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, which the town of Drayton Valley is required to complete, and administration is requesting council's ratification of the continued partnership with FCM. Therefore, I move that council authorize administration to execute the Memorandum of Understanding with the Federation of Canadian Municipalities as presented.
Thank you, Councillor Frederickson. Any discussion on this motion? Councillor Bossert.
I'm making up for lost time. Thank you. I'm very pleased to see this MOU before us today. I know from past experience that these partnerships with the FCM for the international program have been very successful. Drayton Valley has been very honored to be chosen again as a partner for one of these partnerships. I have to point out in Article 7, the Canadian Partners Objectives, that one of the objectives includes increasing and strengthening the mentorship and opportunities for women and youth in order to facilitate an easier entrance into entrepreneurship and other leadership roles. And I think this is an objective that needs to be highlighted as many of us know women in developing countries do not get the same opportunities as their male counterparts. So I'm very pleased to see this objective included in the MOU, and I think all of the 7 objectives are very noteworthy, and I look forward to see how the program unfolds in the chosen municipality.
Thank you, Councillor Bossert. Anything further? Councillor Frederickson.
Past, it's been largely government focused. In this particular rendition of this partnership, there's more of a community focus.
Both appropriate and timely. The town of Drayton Valley has been involved in the program as a backgrounder, points out, for some 19 years. We received recognition 2 years ago for our participation in the program. My own involvement extends only to the last partnership with the city of Matagalpa, and the reception, not only for our presence, but for our contributions to the initiative that city undertook, were very well received. You could very plainly tell that the city of Matagalpa derived significant benefit from this program and our participation in it. So that was encouraging, certainly. Are there any further comments or questions on this? Councillor Long.
Yeah, just to that point, I actually took part as a member of the public in the trip to Lesotho, Tanzania in 2006. And I was very impressed. We clearly made a difference on the ground there, and I believe that difference continues to this day with a group in town, Hearts for Lesotho, and I think the Lesotho Community Foundation was set up over a visit. Also for me personally, I know for a couple of others, the chance to see some of the conditions that folks in the rest of the world have to put up with was a real eye-opener, and it's something I've brought back with me and tried to share that knowledge and that feeling, I suppose, with others around me. So this is a worthwhile program, and I think the point that might be worth pointing out is the cost to Drayton Valley taxpayers is essentially nothing.
Mr. Dibben.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just to Councillor Frederickson's question, and Councillor Bossert had referenced this in her comments in Article 7. There were 3 different themes, all with an economic development focus that FCM was looking at for this latest iteration. The one that we are being paired with is regional economic development with a focus on youth and women involvement and entrepreneurship. And so it seems a very logical tie to the work that and certainly the work that Council has done for the last number of years with the initially the Women in Government program and now the Women in Leadership mentorship program as well. And those factored very heavily in SCM's discussions with us and also their decision to include us as well. We do not know yet which municipality in Nicaragua that will be partnered with. We assume that once we get into the discussions and execute the MOU, that we will learn that
Anything further? All right. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Item 8.0 Service Department reports. Engineering and Development, Mr. Fraser.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Maybe I'll just allude to the development permit report here. We just had two development permits for demolition of mobile homes in the last couple of weeks. And then we had 5 business licenses. I guess a business that does glitter tattoo, I'm not sure what that is, but anyway, I'm sure Martine knows. Gas station and convenience store. There was a name change for another gas station. That was actually Scotty's at the south end of town. Liquor store name change. They were just formalized their name change from Main Street to Great Canadian Liquor Company. And a business, construction eavesdropping business, based in Brazeau County. As far as other activities, I guess in the engineering and planning and development department, a lot of just normal yearly inspections and maintenance and so forth. I know Barry's conducted, had all the fire extinguishers tested in all facilities and vehicles. All emergency lights have been through their yearly inspection. A major runway lighting repair was done at the airport. There were some problems with some of the lights, and the frozen ground didn't help the work. It was a little more involved than we had thought it would be. Playground inspections, they're about to resume soon with the oncoming of nice weather. Public Works, just normal transition from winter into spring, summer activities, sweeping, catch basins, potholes, garbage pickup, changing equipment from sanding over to summertime use for trucks and so forth, planning for Public Works Week. And just of note that a new temporary mechanic or acting mechanic started on March 27th. His name is Dana Schmidt. That's while George is away on sickness, out at the water treatment plant, preparatory work is underway for the upcoming repairs to the cell 4 berm. So Bill and his crew are just confirming locations of manholes and weirs and so forth for ISL, who's completing and normal plant maintenance activities. In my section, again, lots of day-to-day issues, following up on grants, reporting for the year, investigating new grants, so forth. And staff are quite busy. We're kind of in the process of moving offices to have a more, I guess, logical flow of traffic and have staff in closer together in work teams and there's closer traffic between offices for various reporting sections. And that would be it.
All right. Any questions? Mr. Fraser?
Thank you. I'm sure one of the questions you'll be getting, but I'm already getting, is in terms of street cleaning. They're just wondering whenabouts that will take place.
I can just say that it has started. It is a little different this year than previous years. Previous years, we had contracted outside facilities to companies to come and assist. So temporarily, it usually went faster, but it was more costly with respect to the contracting. So this year, we're using our own town equipment. One of the pieces of equipment is the vanilla one, is actually more finicky and tends to require more maintenance and repairs. So we're fortunate to have the smaller one, but they've started, but it will be a more extended time frame this year than last year.
Anything further? Thank you. Economic Development, Eric here? I don't think Eric is here. So we'll move on to Emergency Services. Chief Thompson. Mr. Mayor, Council. Not a lot to report in my department, just one good thing. That is a good thing. Just one quick reminder that grass fire season is quickly approaching. This year is a bit unusual as farmers have a lot of crops that were left in the field. So we're just urging the public to be extra cautious when they're enjoying the outdoors because we don't want any catastrophic events happening in our area. Administration, Communications and Marketing, Tyler.
Can't get shocked on this. Good morning, Mr. Mayor and Council and Administration. Here's a report from Communications and Marketing. Still tweaking them a little bit to be able to make sure that they can be visible as easily as possible. Also, if you're looking at the town website on your iPad as well, we have a scaling issue that has been dealt with so that you can actually find the little search bar on the top right-hand corner. That was a bit of an issue, so we got that cleaned up. Also, we have had 17,000 page views in the last month, March. So still great numbers for people coming to our website. Also, we've been exploring the feasibility of having a subscribable mail list available on our website. There we're just kind of trying to work out some of the ins and outs of that and potentially launching that down the road. Also, on the app, I know this was brought up about the report of property of having facilities available on there. I did just get an email 20 minutes ago saying that it has been added as an option on our portal. And social media, the Jeff Thornton was a lot of fun. Some of their few follow us on Instagram if they don't have an Instagram account, so it's a great extra resource.
Any questions? Yeah, Councilor Frederickson.
I'm just looking at the town website right now, and I like how that it's not a drop-down menu, but it comes up to its own page, so that is much easier to see.
For that one,
Thank you very much. Mr. Burton. How are you? Good, thanks. Do you have a report for us, economic development? Okay. Thank you.
So, one thing to report, we had a successful tourism strategy session last week, and in large part, thanks to the support that we got from the community. The Drayton Valley Hospitality and Tourism Association came on board as a major sponsor, as did the Chamber of Commerce, Eagle Point, Blue Rapids, our council, and we had about 20 people, and by all accounts, it was the right 20 people who brought a variety of perspectives, but really key stakeholders. And it was really exciting to see the DVHTA step into a leadership role. That was something that we were hoping, and they very much came with enthusiasm and looking for an opportunity to be a leader moving tourism forward. So some of the key things that were discussed across the day were identifying who the primary customers are for tourist organizations in the area. And the exercise was designed to help to identify where businesses can work together by targeting the same customer base. That led to a discussion around activity packaging, right? So what kinds of activities complement each other to strengthen the kind of experience that they have. That led into a discussion around developing marketing, that is collective marketing, so that those activities can then be packaged and marketed to the customers that were identified. So the together identified what the industry training needs are, and focused on an Explore Quotient program that is going to be offered by Travel Alberta. That's set to begin on April 25th. It's part of a 2-day program. So the first day is going to be in the afternoon, and then the second day is most of a day on the 2nd of May. And so the focus is to dive deeper into that exercise of identifying who your best customer is. So while we did, a 45-minute discussion version of it, this is a 9-hour program. And it's not only meant for the community, but also individual businesses. So there were businesses that we reached out to bring to the table that were new to the community, like Air Adventures. They're a company that is new, that is actually the top-rated experience in Drayton Valley, and they provide a range of air-related activities like paragliding. And so we've brought them, and they're new to tourism. So this is actually a really good example of what Powered by Entrepreneurs is really designed to do. Is here we have some new entrepreneurs who are not experienced in tourism but have experience in business, who had some money of their own, had some land, and they've pivoted into tourism because they've seen a market and that they've gone after it. And they've been very successful right out of the gates, and now they're looking to continue to grow that. So an opportunity to support those entrepreneurs in getting the kind of training that they need to be successful. So at a high level, that's what came out of the strategy session. I think everybody walked away feeling more encouraged about what we can do together. There's still, in the future, there still needs to be clarity around who leads this. There's some discussion around whether a committee of the DVHTA could be part of that, and the chair was involved in those discussions. But of course, that was more blue sky thinking about how to work together rather than a decision-making body. So it'll be interesting to see how this continues to build momentum. But our role is to try to set the foundation and build the capacity to have important conversations about how we drive forward a sector.
Thank you. Councillor Frederiksen.
I'm excited to hear that we're doing the Explore Quotient Travel Alberta program. I know Parkland County, I think, had engaged in something like that last year. But it will give us a better understanding for sure of who our customers are and who we advertise to. And I think that will help definitely when you're looking at organizations like Eagle Point and Rapids, where basically at this point you're just kind of throwing darts blindly at a dartboard and hoping that you get a customer base that you think that you are supposed to be catering to. So this way at least it gives us some concrete evidence, which is good.
Mr. Dillon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good morning, Council. Given my absence for most of the time since the last council meeting, I'm going to ask my acting, the Director of Community Services, if she would just report on CAO's report from the past few weeks.
Thank you, Mr. Dibben. Good morning, Mayor and Council. Further to the commitment to provide communications on water and sewer to our customers, commencing the week of March 27th, letters were addressed to all large line customers in the community of Drayton Valley, in addition to supporting information about the changes to the rates. Commencing this month, April, all water and sewer customers in the community will be provided with additional information. This information will be provided in their utility bills. I'm proud to say that the town had recently put forward 2 submissions to the Ministry of Municipal Affairs for the Minister's Awards for Municipal Excellence. We put forward 2 submissions. One was on the water treatment plant, and that was an entry under the category of innovation. The second submission was the Women in Leadership program, and that was submitted as an entry under the category of partnerships. These awards recognize municipalities and the innovative work they are doing. We'll keep council posted as we learn more from the ministry. Tonight is the Spring Community Registration Night at the curling rink. The town of Drayton Valley will have several tables at the registration night, including Community Services, the Park Valley Pool, and ECDC. Councillors and staff will be in attendance and will have program and information available to residents. I encourage everyone to come out. At 10:30 this morning, I'm proud to say that a representative, Mr. Gord Snell, from Vermilion Energy, will be in attendance to meet with council and provide a check for the amount of $25,000, which they have generously donated to ECDC. This is the 5th year of the partnership. That's all I have to report.
Thank you very much. All right, we'll do council reports. Councillor Dirksen.
My second council meeting. First one on the right, there's only 2 days in. So I did have a chance to attend my first Eleanor Pickup Arts Center meeting. It sounds like they're positioned for another excellent fall program, and they actually pointed out the Wilkinsons. I don't know if anyone likes Canadian country music. I do. So they've actually reached out to the EPAC committee to host an event there. So obviously the name is starting to get out there across people recognize the facility that's there, and I'm looking forward to working with them. And secondly, I did also attend the morning of Banking on Clean Tech Now at the CETC. They have the presentations online. I don't know if they have the videos up yet, but it was excellent and engaging. The presenters were fabulous, and it's a glimpse into the economic diversity that I think can be coming to the Drayton Valley area through the CETC. So I was pretty excited about what I heard and what I saw.
Thank you very much. Councillor Frederickson.
I had attended a Sunrise Village meeting regarding specialized transportation, and myself, the MLA Mark Smith, as well as Annette Drayson from administration was there. Speaking with the seniors just about where the direction that the town is going in terms of specialized transportation. It's very much something that they've expressed as a need in the community, and happy to hear that the town is moving forward on something, that something will be coming forward with regards to specialized transportation. There was a lot of discussion. About funding, operational funding for this particular project, as well as capital funding, and how this program would be operated, whether it's volunteer operations, whether it's a for-profit focus, that kind of stuff. They did have a lot of comments about other communities that have managed to be able to make specialized transportation a priority. And we did talk a lot about the importance of this model being sustainable, so we are not relying solely on volunteerism as that not necessarily a sustainable model. Eventually people either burn out or move on. So it was a really interesting conversation. There was some really interesting conversations about municipal roles, both ourselves and our municipal neighbors, in terms of funding the operations of specialized transportation. There was some comments from Sunrise Village residents that although they currently now live in Drayton Valley, they perhaps had a house or grew up or continue to have land in our neighboring municipality and continue to pay taxes there, and they were really like to see that there is some form of collaboration on this to assist with the operations if it means bringing this program sooner and making it more viable for the community. So that was interesting. As a member of the Bazoo Seniors Foundation, I have had the opportunity to sit on the Alberta Seniors and Community Housing Board of Directors, which is a provincial advocacy body. So they had their conference the 22nd to the 24th in Edmonton, and seniors housing it's very interesting. I mean, we're all gonna end up there at some point in time. And so there was some really good breakout sessions in terms of clean energy, making operations of seniors housing, I guess, more viable in this case in terms of using clean energy to be able to help with the operation costs. Also utilizing technology, so things like that we're already using today, things like Fitbits, having technology that kind of shows how many times the fridge has been opened, using that information to kind of see if there's a reduction in activity on a senior, using those changes as a means to indicate whether they need help or whether, you know, if there hasn't been a lot of movement for a while, that maybe that's triggering that we need to see if something's happening. And definitely as more seniors are aging in place, being able to either have manpower or use technology to kind of see where they are, where they're sitting, is interesting. And yeah, so there was a lot of information. Had an opportunity to talk with the Minister of Seniors Housing about seniors housing. There was a lot of talk about rural housing, the stresses of rural housing, as well as again, transportation came up, being able to access health facilities and medical facilities for seniors is an issue across the province. So we're not essentially unique, and I know everybody is trying to struggle to find a way to keep our seniors here and being able to provide them with the care that they need. And that is all.
Thank you very much. Councillor Wheeler.
Thank you. I attended Evergreen's grade 4 social class presentations. So they use EPAC and they put on little plays that they actually write. It's very neat to see their interpretation of what it was like moving and settling into Alberta, and what the mounted police were like back then, and the women trying to apply to be there, and you can't be. So it was really great to see them engaging in another way, excited about learning about their history. So a Community Foundation meeting, and then last night was the Healthy Communities Coalition Emergency Preparedness Dinner and Dialogue. So we were discussing what's happening in other kind of communities. We got a presentation from Lisa. She's the principal at one of the schools in Fort McMurray. When they had to evacuate, she talked about her whole experience of being with the kids on the bus and not knowing where to go, and the communication side of it, and how they thought someone would call them as the fire got closer, and someone would call them, and nobody called them. And it's just kind of one of those, makes you think, oh, what's our plan? So it was really good to listen to her speech, and have Alberta was there with their emergency preparedness plan and talked about it a little bit in terms of what they actually do when we have an emergency, how they come out and help. So a good cross-section of industry. We talked about industry being a real strength in a lot of these areas, that they're there, they're organized, they have people, they have plans and procedures for all their type of stuff, and that when emergencies come up, they're willing to help. They were a huge help up north and always have been, kind of thing. So also assets like the river, we're right beside a water source, which is more than a lot of communities can say, depending on our access. But yeah, it was great to talk through. So I'm looking forward to seeing the results. We had different tables kind of things, so they'll kind of compare results and back and see where to go. I think it would be nice, I'm not sure who falls under, but maybe to have an administration kind of side of our actual emergency preparedness plan. I know they're doing some stuff with the county, working on a plan for 2018 and stuff, but maybe just an update would be a good thing for the future. Oh, happy Easter coming up to everybody. We don't have a meeting for quite some time. And also we have a community dinner coming up on the 18th of April. So they're open to everyone. They're lots of fun. Food's always really good at the Legion, so come on down and have dinner.
Thank you very much. Councillor Bossert.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It feels like it's been quite some time since I sat at the council table, having been away a fair bit in the last 6 or 8 weeks. I first of all want to say I'm very much enjoying my time in the Women in Leadership program with my mentee, excuse me, mentee Kaylee, who is here today, and congratulations on achieving your driver's license on Monday. I have a couple of shout-outs, really. First of all, a shout-out to Calvin Whittle, who has retired from Public Works after 35 years with the town. I got to sit with Calvin at his dinner the other day, and the stories he can tell about the Public Works and the union of our community. So it was very interesting to listen to Calvin and his stories and to wish him well in his retirement. On March 22nd, we had the grand opening for the CT scanner here at the Drayton Valley Hospital. I just want to congratulate all that put funding forward for that project, and I hope that it will serve as a great tool in the wellness of our community and possibly even save some lives. That would be the ultimate goal. Shout out to Amber Thomas, who recently announced that she will be seeking a spot in the 2020 Tokyo Paralympics. She has been in the Paralympics, I believe it was 4 years ago, and attained a silver medal, I believe. And she just yesterday announced that she would be going for Tokyo in 2020, so we wish her all the very best. And also a shout out to Emily Hickman, who is our Homelessness and Poverty Reduction Strategy Coordinator. Housing conference in Leduc yesterday and was interviewed by CBC, and the post, of course, is on Facebook. A good exposure for that program here in Quinnipiac, although it was slightly out of context. But good to know that our name has also been connected with the issue of the solutions that are being provided for homelessness in rural communities. So
very much. Councillor Rowan.
Thank you. For a quiet couple of weeks, I attended the Economic Developers of Alberta conference in Banff. That was interesting. A range of presentations, some good and worthwhile, some less good and less worthwhile. I will be doing a full report in writing within the next couple of weeks, I hope. Although I'm not reliable on that, I don't know if you guys have noticed. Two things I will draw attention to was a presentation from Todd Hirsch of ATP Financial, who gives a sort of general overview of the economic conditions of the province, and cautious optimism was the watchword there. I think certainly expecting some growth, 2.5%. I think he was looking at. Always room for that to be better or worse, depending on what happens with global energy prices. Another one was, and I forgot the fellow's name, from CAP, Canadian Association of Petroleum Producers, expecting drilling activity to be up significantly this year on last year, but bear in mind that last year was pretty darn bad. But things are starting to look like we've maybe turned a corner here, and one of the areas that they are expecting to be a little busier than others is right here in the Guardian Pembina field. So again, cautious optimism as we go forward. The only other thing I attended was the tourism strategy session, which Eric has already discussed. Interesting, it was a follow-up to an earlier meeting, and it feels like we're moving forward, and I look forward to seeing what happens at the two forthcoming meetings at the end of this month, one at the beginning of next month, I believe. I'll leave it there.
All right, thank you very much. Very encouraging to hear some momentum being developed in the tourism area. For my part, of course, I was notable in my absence from the March 15th meeting of council, attending and participating in a course on lobbying government effectively. So watch out. Of course, council engaged in a planning session. We do that on an annual basis, as do most councils. And I'm appreciative of administration and council for their focus and contributions over the course of the weekend. Grateful to the town of Stony Plain for being gracious hosts to us. The Banking on Clean Tech conference, of course there was a dinner and reception along with the presentation from the CMTC the evening before. I was able to engage in some good conversations specifically on the hemp industry and efforts to develop the supply chain regionally. But then the main conference on the 24th, interesting format. It was very much a rapid fire, 15-minute presentations on average from a host of speakers in a host of areas, all related to energy efficiency and, in one case, water conservation, and in other cases, technological development. So it was very good very good information. It was a good primer for anyone new to that space. Very good feedback thus far, and as Michael has pointed out, on this past Monday, I met with President of Northwest College, partner in provision of educational services at the CATC. And I wanted to say, I too, along with Councillor Wheeler, attended the Grade 4 historical vignettes prepared by the Grade 4 students at Evergreen School, at the Honor Pickup Arts Center, and it was really evident that the students put in a great deal of work and tried hard to understand and boil down the critical elements of the development of Western Canada, in particular. A student and a fan of Western Canadian history, it was really impressive that students in grade 4 could do that with such clarity. So good on them. I've already sent congratulations to all. So that concludes my report. I will items for information, items 10.1 through 10.4. Could I get a motion to receive those as information? Councillor Frederickson, all in favor? Councillor Long, all in favor?